To give up, you have to be dead, or completely incapacitated.
Boom boom boom. Bags a mystery. The reverse proxy. But first agenda. Bank IT. Red Hat DevOps. CCNA. Acronyms. Python. ASP.NET Core, maybe. Trader. So. But. Netflix Zool. Zool is a framework created by Netflix to handle their own API and website traffic. The framework is structured around filters, a concept borrowed from Java Servlet filter pattern. What? Who? How? Okay. Fine. The essentials of filters. The Java Servlet specification version 2.3 introduces a new component type, called a filter. A filter dynamically intercepts requests and repoints to transform or use the information contained in the requests or responses. Filters typically do not themselves create responses, but instead provide universal functions that can be attached to any type of servlet or JSP page. Filters are important for a number of reasons. First, they provide the ability to encapsulate recurring tasks in reusable units. Organized developers are constantly on the lookout for ways to modularize their code. Modular code is more manageable and documentable, is easier to debug, and if done well, can be reused in another setting. Bags a mystery. Second, filters can be used to transform the response from a servlet or a JSP page. A common task for the web application is to format data sent back to the client. Increasingly the clients require formats, for example, WML, other than just HTML. To accommodate these clients, there is usually a strong component of transformation or filtering in a fully featured web application. Many servlet and JSP containers have introduced proprietary filter mechanisms, resulting in a gain for the developer that deploys on that container, but reducing the reusability of such code. With the introduction of filters as part of the Java Servlet specification, developers now have the opportunity to write reusable transformation components that are portable across containers. Filters can perform many different types of functions. I will discuss with myself some items here. Items like logging and auditing, data compression, localization, XSL and T transformation of XML content. This should mean very little to you, you wooden spoon boyo. Okay. I will not discuss any of these just now. Boom. So let us get back to Zool. We ended with Java Servlet filter pattern. And now. A Zool Edge service is made up of a series of such filters, each performing some action on a HTTP request and or response before passing control along to the next filter. For example, a filter might add authentication information to request headers, write an error response to an invalid request, or forward a request to an upstream service for further processing. So. This is getting long. Maybe not today. But we will discuss Zool filters, later, maybe. And now you giggle mug, CCNA. IP addressing basics. TCP IP addressing is finished. Now. Still IP addressing basics. But. Configuring IP address settings. So. Manual configuration versus DHCP. Dynamic host control protocol. So but. When configuring IP address settings on your workstation or network devices such as routers and switches, you can either manually configure the setting or dynamically assign addresses via DHCP, aka Dynamic Host Control Protocol. So but. Manual configuration. So manual configuration of a workstation or device such as router involves going into the configuration of the network interfaces and manually inputting the IP address, subnet mask, and default gateway setting. Manual configuration can be labor-intensive, so we normally manual configure only servers, routers, and switches. The client on the network obtain their IP address dynamically from the DHCP server, aka Dynamic Host Control Protocol. But. Dynamic configuration. Configuring IP addressing on a large TCP IP-based network can be a nightmare, especially if machines are moved frequently from one network to another. DHCP, aka Dynamic Host Control Protocol, can help with the workload of configuring systems on a network by assigning addresses to systems automatically on boot up. The process of dynamically assigning IP addresses is managed via a DHCP server. Dynamic Host Control Protocol Server. The DHCP server, Dynamic Host Control Protocol Server, can be a separate device, a service running on a server, or a service loaded on your Cisco router. The DHCP service is configured with a set of usable IP addresses, called a scope. The scope can also include the subnet mask, IP addresses of the default gateway, DNS server, domain name system servers, and other necessary addresses. When a PC powers on and is configured to use a DHCP server, Dynamic Host Control Protocol, it uses the following steps to obtain and address. 1. DHCP Discover. 2. DCHP Offer. 3. DHCP Request. 4. DHCP Acknowledgement. So but at DHCP Discover. The client send out a DHCP Discover message, which is a broadcast request packet, looking for any DHCP services on the network. So now but DHCP Offer. The DHCP server responds with a DHCP offer message containing an IP address that the client can lease. So now but DHCP Request. The client then accepts the offer by sending a DHCP request message to the DHCP server for that address. And now but DHCP Acknowledgement. The DHCP server responds by sending a DHCP ACK message to the client confirming the client is leasing the address. The DHCP, Dynamic Host Control Protocol, ACK message also contains additional TCP/IP settings such as the lease time. The DHCP server marks the IP address in its database as being in use so that it is not assigned again. Boom boom but now finito. Finish. Day what? Day 12. IaaS, Infrastructure as a Service. IANA, Internet Assigned Numbers Authority. ICA, Independent Computer Architecture. ICANN, Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers. ICMP, Internet Control Message Protocol. ICS, Internet Connection Sharing or Industrial Control System. IDF, Intermediate Distribution Frame. IDS, Intrusion Detection System. IEEE, Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. IGMP, Internet Group Message Protocol. So now giggle mug, Python. Python literals. So Boolean values. To conclude with Python's literals, there are two additional ones, as they are used to represent a very abstract value, truthfulness. Each time you ask Python if one number is greater than another, the question results in the creation of some specific data, a Boolean value. The name comes from George Boole, who lived 1815 to 1864, the author of the fundamental work, The Laws of Thought, which contains the definition of Boolean algebra, a part of algebra A which makes use of only two distinct values, true and false, denoted as 1 and 0. Damn, I went for a George Boole and end up with ferrite rings. Let's get back to Python, son. A programmer writes a program, and the program asks questions. Python executes the program, and provides the answers. The program must be able to react according to the received answers. Fortunately, computer know only two kinds of answers. Yes, this is true. No, this is false. You will never get a response like, I do not know, probably yes, but I do not know for sure. So son, Python is a binary reptile. These two Boolean values have strict denotations in Python. True and false. You cannot change anything, you have to take these symbols are, including case sensitivity. Boom. Why can we be more like computer? ASP.NET Core. You should start learning C#, maybe, or C, maybe, or C++, maybe. Anyway. Trader. Money market instrumentals. Commercial paper. Commercial paper advantages and disadvantages. The major benefit of commercial paper is that it does not need to be registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. Second, as long as it matures in no more than 9 months, or 270 days. This makes it a cost-effective and a simple means of financing. Although maturities can go as long as 270 days before coming under the purview of the second, maturities for commercial paper average about 30 days. Commercial paper is also easier to deal with compared to the effort, time, and money involved in getting a business loan. It offers issuer the advantage of lower interest rates while it offers investors a low risk of default. Commercial paper provides an effective way of investors to diversify portfolios. But, son. Disadvantages. Companies must have extremely good credit to issue commercial paper. So, it does not offer access to capital for all institutions. What is more, the proceeds from this type of financing can only be used on current assets or inventories. They are not allowed to be used on fixed assets, such as a new plant, without second involvement. Low interest rates for issuers mean low rates of return for investors. Also, due to large minimum denomination of 100,000, commercial paper typically is not directly available to smaller investors. However, they can invest indirectly through companies that buy commercial paper.
Beautiful woman, I felt it deep inside. Beautiful woman, people are talking me down. Beautiful woman, you try to tell me what's right. The road gets longer, you turn all grey into white. Oh.